Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the Library of Congress. Hey, guys. Hey, friends down here. Hey, friends. How are you? Good. You excited to be at the Library of Congress? Okay. Have you ever been here before? Okay. You are in the world's largest library. So I hope you get a chance to check it out. This is one of our beautiful rooms, and I bet you all did not know that the 14th Librarian of Congress, Dr. Carla Hayden, who is kindly serving as our moderator tonight, is also an aerobics instructor. She got them to do their wiggles before this event started, so that was my first time to ever see her do that, so that was entertaining. I'm Clay Smith. I'm the new literary director at the library. We're thrilled that you're here. Welcome to the members' room. After the event, there are books for sale, and in the corner, and then we will have Nikki and Erin up here signing. So we encourage you to join them after the event and get your book signed. So we are talking tonight about this really beautiful book, A Library. First, Dr. Hayden is going to ask them some questions, and then Nikki and Erin will do a reading from the book, and we want you all, adults and kids, to be thinking about your questions. So start thinking of your questions now. So let me tell you a little bit about everybody here tonight. Nikki Giovanni is an award-winning poet, activist, author of many books for children and adults, and was until very recently a University Distinguished Professor of Poetry at Virginia Tech. She recently retired, so congrats to her. Yeah. And Erin K. Robinson, the illustrator of the book, is actually a fashion designer by trade. She's a trained fine artist from the Parsons School of Design and the Corcoran School of the Arts and Design. So we're thrilled to have her here too. And as I said, Dr. Carla Hayden is the 14th Librarian of Congress. And thank you to the three of you for being here.
Thank you. Yes, thank you all for being here, because there are many things you get to do in the world's largest library. And being a librarian, this is a dream come true. However, there are some things you get to do that are really special. And that's being with one of my idols for so long. These books up here, these are mine. Okay, all of them. I just went and I thought, well, just the books that she talks about, libraries and her favorite librarian, and I've used that, and what if she was a book, what it would be. So when I found out that you were writing a book for young people, and I started out as a children's librarian, and I loved the library as a kid, but there were no books for me where I could see myself, ever. And as a children's librarian in the 1970s, there were very few books that I could give to young people just like the ones here and say, look at this, you love the library. And look, there's a beautiful picture of a little girl who looks like you with her dress on, and she goes to her grandmother's and she does all this. So I just want to thank both of you for bringing that, and this is the official book launch. You know what a book launch is, right? Yay. Oh, do you? Oh, thank you. You're honest. A book launch, this is the very first day that this book is available, that you can see it, you can buy it and everything. I had to get a paper copy, okay, just to get ready for tonight. So you are going to be the first to see this book, and even more importantly, to hear from the people who created the book. So thank you both. So let's get into it. And because you're going to, and I told the young people here when we were doing our aerobics, after we did that, that we're going to talk. I'm going to have have the pleasure, because I get to do that, of asking some questions first. Then we're going to hear from the book. We're going to actually see the book and everything. And then you get to ask some questions too. So while I'm asking questions, you think of some of your questions, okay? Because I know you have some. So I'm going to start out. Ms. Giovanni, Nikki. This is one of those joys, being a librarian. Get to call her Nikki. Wonderful thing. Nikki, how did you think of, because you have written books for children about hip hop and some other things. What got you thinking about a book about the joys of a library?
I think the importance of this particular book, actually, a library, came because of my relationship with my grandmother. And it started with just, I spent my summers with grandmother. And when I would visit grandmother would cook, but she had always told grandpapa she didn't mind cooking because she was a very good cook, but she was not going to wash the dishes. So grandpapa had to wash the dishes, which the men ought to do something. And that's the truth. And so when I visited them, of course, that's what I did. She cooked, I washed the dishes, and grandpapa would sit and tell me stories about it, which was nice. But Mondays was washing day, and we had, I'm so glad, by the way, to see so many mothers here, and to see, I think, some grandmothers here, but we had an old wringer washer. And if you remember the wringer washer, I mean, it was hard work. And so I would wash the dishes, grandmother would be using the wringer washer, but I would help her hang the sheets. And of course, to this day, there's nothing as comfortable to sleep on as a sheet that is hung, that is dried in the wind. But after that, grandmother needed what she called her sit down. And she would say, I'm gonna take my sit down. But I really think grandma just wanted me to go away. I think she just, I think she was just used to having a little time to herself. And grandmother smoked, which nobody does anymore, but grandpapa didn't. So I think that was also the time that she just sat on the front, we had a front porch, and sat on the front porch and dreamed or whatever it is that grandmothers do. And so she would say, don't you want to return those books? And I would go, we lived on Mulvaney Street, which is down like this. And I would go up to Vine and Mulvaney, actually, and there was a Carnegie library. And at the library, and I remember, some of you know me because I see so many friends here in the room, but I remember very little. And that's the truth. I don't know if I just don't care. Jenny says I don't, but sometimes I do, but for the most part I don't. But my librarian was Mrs. Long.
You know her name.
And I do. And my grandmother's telephone number was before they put all the, my grandmother's telephone number is 31593. And it's something that nobody wanted to hear. If you made her angry, she would, and my number is 31593. You call, I mean, you didn't want to hear that. And those are the two things. Of all of the things, I don't remember my mother's phone number, to be honest. I mean, not that I didn't like mommy, but I don't remember her phone number. They're just things you don't. But I remember that Mrs. Long was from Iowa. And I should have asked, what brought you to Knoxville, Tennessee? I didn't. But I remember her as my librarian. She would say, what are we reading this week? Because I would take a bunch of books, and it wasn't we, it was me. But I was reading books that probably no other black kid at that point was reading. So I remember I really wanted to read Silent Spring because I got involved in, Rachel Carson. I was interested in that. And I didn't realize until I was grown, really, what she had to go through to go up to the Carson McGee Library to get a book for a black kid at the Carnegie Library. That she probably had to take a lot of crap from a lot of people.
And the reason why, and we have the new director, executive director of the American Library Association, Tracy Hall, here. And at a certain time, libraries were just as segregated as anything else. And there was the colored libraries and the colored branches and stuff. So Miss Long,
Miss Long, yeah.
Mrs. Long had to go a little ways to actually get you those books because
Yeah.
they didn't have the same books.
They did, and I'm sure she had to hear a lot of crap. And Mulvaney Street, by the way, Carla, no longer exists because the University of Tennessee bought that whole area, as has happened to a lot of the parts of the city. And that street is now called Pat Summitt Street for Pat Summitt Drive for Pat Summitt, the basketball, which got me involved mentally in, if I don't write about this, and it's not a chore, but if I don't write about this, all of these people will be forgotten. All of the, in many cases, and there we're talking about the good times because I learned to cook with grandmother, and it was always such a pleasure to cook. And I'm not a bad cook, but I'm a Southern cook. I'm not a chef, and so I'm one of those. You just open you open your pantry and see what's in there, and that's what you cook.
That's a good cook.
Yeah, and this book I think is very close to my heart because grandmother was very, not that grandfather wasn't, but grandmother's very close to my heart, and you just can't let these people be forgotten. And so I'm writing a series of books, which probably nobody will publish, called A Street Called Mulvaney.
Oh,
because I remember our neighbors, and I remember the neighbors coming by gossiping, and I'm a big gossip on that level. And I remember things that were said. My grandfather was a Latin teacher, and I did some research the way that I do it, but I did some research into the Latin teachers, and I realized how important the Latin teachers were to Thurgood Marshall, because they translated the Latin, because the law is written, as you know, in Latin. And they translated, my grandfather was not the only one, but they snuck and translated and passed it along to the Pullman Porters, who passed it along to Thurgood Marshall. And that's how we got Brown versus Board of Education. So there's a lot going on that just excites me. And I'm not cutting Erin off, I'm just...
No, because I'm getting ready to ask Erin. Now, Erin, that must have been something. Now, you have a wonderful background in art and design, and you did this great book about women and postcards and everything. But how did it feel, and how did you take Nikki's words and her poetry and her thoughts and turn it into something so beautiful?
When I first read the text for it, I love when I first get a project, because I want to see how it's going to immediately hit me. So when I read the words to it, it took me back to those days when you would sit in the library and get lost in your imagination, or the way it was when I used to go to the bookstore, and just sit in a corner and just grab everything. And I'm so visual, just to see what popped in my head. So when I read your story, it was immediate, like just immediate. And I tried, my hardest to kind of go back into your childhood and try to imagine what you might have been feeling, or what the smell or the places, all that was, I wanted to make sure she had freckles. That's always like, I was make sure this little girl has freckles like you. And just get lost into what I thought was the magic of your world coming up. And I don't know, it was a lot of fun to create it and bring it to visual life. I was like, oh my gosh, Nikki Giovanni, I'm gonna get to create her little world here. I was so excited. So
I can imagine. And then to bring it to life. So how did you all work together? Because you have the words and then you have the illustrations. So
we just met tonight.
Wow.
We just met tonight. But it also
breaking news. Okay? And you all think about this. You can draw the pictures, you get the words, you get to meet. Whoa.
Yeah, well, the project also came up right before COVID as well.
There you go.
it was a lockdown project. And obviously I knew who Nikki was, and then my publishers and editors, they wanted us to somehow, we'd figure it. I figured it would just happen somehow, some way, and here it is, book launch day in my hometown of Washington, D.C.
Oh, great.
And I get to, meet an idol and present a book, and
your mother's birthday.
and my mother's birthday.
Happy
Shout out
birthday.
to
Happy
Dr. Robinson over there. Yes,
What a
I dedicated that book to her for her birthday. So, dedicated to her, so it's just super cool it came out on her birthday.
And then to have the launch right here in the world's largest. So, I have to ask, who were some of the artists that inspired you? And then, I want to hear.
I
Nikki,
love
too.
this question. Because I'll get asked this. Ezra Jack Keats, The Snowy Day. Those are the books I read as a child. Artist Jacob Lawrence, Eric Carle. I think coming from as a fashion designer and then transitioning into, I've always loved to draw and paint, but those were, as a kid growing up, I like things that look sort of collaged and textured and maybe a little bit odd in shape. So yeah, those are a few.
And you can see it. And so, Nikki, you can imagine there are librarians, and that's why Tracy's here. There are librarians who've been waiting for something like this, okay? For a book that gives you that feeling now with libraries, and she's clutching those books like they're precious. And you just get that sense. Do you really think libraries can have that effect for young people? I know it had it for me, but.
I think libraries are sacred, practically. That I was teasing my friend Jenny, libraries and librarians and critics are the two most important people to artists, because without you all, we would have been dead. If you all hadn't stolen, and we look at going way back, you have a Gutenberg library. If somebody hadn't hidden that, and we know that Lonnie Birch, Dr. Birch, was in Maryland and talking to an older lady, and she said, well, I have something that you might want to see, but I don't know if it means anything. And she goes, because they've had it and they've wrapped it and kept it for a century, or for 100 years at least, and it was Frederick Douglass's Bible. And that's why that is over at the
museum.
And it's, I don't know any place that I feel safer, And I have my good friend Connie Harris here, and she ran the library in Cincinnati and did a wonderful job. And I don't want to, well, I do want to name a couple, but I have my dear friend Juliana, who is here, the history makers. And it's so important that for whatever reason, she decided I'm going to talk to people, I'm going to find out. And all of us aren't important, but she found the people like me. Pearl Clegg and I did that, and I used to babysit Pearl. And so you people, if I can use that,
collect.
are so important.
That's a good use of you people.
It is. You're extremely important, because that was the place where you felt safe. And there's a movie called The Library, and it was filmed in Cincinnati. And it's about the homeless who need a place to stay in the winter. And they went to the Cincinnati Library. And so there were people that said they shouldn't stay there. And the librarian is the one who's going to fight for them. It's a wonderful movie. And they got to spend the night, instead of being in the cold, they got to spend the night. But speaking of dear friends, if I may, my dear friend Javon Jackson is here with me. And one of the things that we have that I'm going to ask him to share, because I told your mom, but we have a present for you. And Jenny said we shouldn't do it.
Well, that means we should.
But
we have something.
It's something we want to, and you all can laugh, because I know I'm way out of my my
You're not doing, as the young people say, staying in your lane?
no, it's not going to be standing in the
Oh, my
rain.
goodness.
It's a saxophone.
A saxophone.
Okay, we got you.
So
And
you...
what we want to do, if the audience doesn't mind, and
Oh, good look.
the no, I didn't drop anything. That was your, yeah. I don't know that he needs a sax because he's got a saxophone there. And this is something we wanted to share with you as a librarian because you all have been doing so much. And I know that tomorrow you're doing a celebration of Nina Simone that Skip, well, we used to call him Skippy, Adam Clayton Powell III is coming because Hazel Scott's son, who Hazel was married at that point to, Miss Scott, was married to Adam Clayton Powell. And fortunately, probably divorced him, but nonetheless.
And Adam Clayton Powell
And they were
gave
friends.
papers to the Library of Congress.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to.
And
Go ahead.
Miss Giovanni, Nikki knows that I'm the child of 2 classically trained musicians.
Oh, yeah.
No talent, that's why I'm a librarian. But
So-
I know music.
I'm going to start with you on this. I want to sing, and he's going to play.
You're a
Night song,
vocalist.
because they were friends of Nina Simone, and Nina was a good friend of mine. And so Night Song was one of her favorite songs, and so I'd like to do it. We wanted to present it
Thank you.
to you. Summer. Okay. Summer, not a bit of breeze. My mind is gone. Wait a minute. Tired breeze are blowing. I'm sorry. Through the tired trees. God, my mind is gone. Summer, not a bit of breeze. Beams are blowing through the tired trees. Lovers walking to and fro. Everyone has someone and some place to go. Now listen as the cars go past. They don't even see me going by so fast. Moving, going, who knows where. Only thing I know is I'm not going there. Where do you go when you know that your brain is on fire? Where do you go when you don't even know what it is you desire? Listen, laughter everywhere. Hear it, love is in the air. And night comes and the town awakes. Sound of children laughing and the squeal of brakes. Music, what the lonely song. I can't help but wondering, where do I belong?
Wow.
I really say, sweetheart, thank you. I have been, thank you. I've been, it's on our CD, and I have been so nervous. I met the Queen of England. And I couldn't have been more casual. It's like, yeah, the Queen called, wants to know. And I'm like, okay. And I met the Queen. I mean, that was really nice. I have been so nervous about this affair.
Oh.
And I have, because all of it means so much to me. And being with you again means so much to me. And Juliana made that possible. And if I get in, I said to Jenny, well, if anything else happens, you know, put me in a hospital and you go up and talk about the book, because you know it. And I have to apologize because I really love that song so much. And I also love, you know, leaning on the everlasting arms, which is one of your favorite, and I love that, which I wrote a poem for my granddaughter called Vegetable Soup, so that it's a poem about growing old. And I recommend that, but growing old is scary, and because you don't know that you'll have the grace to go through it. And I'm going to recommend granddaughters. So if you don't have one, buy it. Granddaughters are incredibly important. And my granddaughter is a good cook. She can take a knife and do one of those things. I would have cut my arm off by the time I did that. And so my favorite book, by the way, is Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim.
Rats of Nim.
And I loved it, and I love it because it's a community book. And Mrs. Frisbee is a single mother, as you know, for those of you who know the book. We don't know what happened to Mr. Frisbee until halfway through the book. And we realized that the dragon got him. Dragon is a bad cat, and that's who got him. But we who are mothers now, no matter where we are also fighting dragons for our sons. They're being shot in the back. They're being lynched. A lot of other horrible things are happening to our children. And I love that book because Mrs. Frisbee says, I'm a single mother, I'm gonna have to take care of the kids, and she does that. And that's what's important. But the rats are not bad rats. The rats are saying, I don't wanna live with these people anymore, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna find our own community. And I love that. But her son, her youngest son, is saying, well, I wanna go to find out where the rats are. And her mother, Mrs. Frisbee, says, how are you going to do that? He says, I'm going to call Jeremy. Jeremy is the hawk that she saved, the crow that she saved. He said, I'm going to call Jeremy, and Jeremy will take me there. Now, to me, Jeremy, speaking of, to me, Jeremy is a metaphor. And when I think about our ancestors, and I look at this building, and I look at Washington, D.C., and I look at what our ancestors built, and I look at Jeremy, I look at Javon and I, and what we're standing on the shoulders of. And so we wanted to bring you music. And I'm so sorry I messed up the song because I love the song so much.
Well,
and I just got so nervous, I just couldn't.
Well,
I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
I think you have another career besides vocalist. You're okay. You're okay. And part of the beauty of music, and I know you know that, is it gives emotion and sometimes you can just get overcome. And what happens too with art is the same thing. So we thought it would be nice if you all could read the book.
Sure.
Because we have it on slides, and Clay is going to. And you know I want my own copy when this is over. Just to
Thank you.
I think you should read this. These are your words here.
Oh, but isn't she cute? No, she is. And I love it so much. Erin, there was a big fight. For those of you who end up being writers, there was a big fight, as you know, what was going on the front.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted this. I wanted this.
Yeah.
And Wesley's here, so she knows.
What was the problem?
The problem was that it didn't really stand up like this.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't big enough.
Yeah, it's just a question of, and I wrote it, so I don't get anything for it. I mean, they get to choose that. I wanted this because it showed the library. And I thought the library was more important, actually, than, if I may, the little girl. And so it was what you all do, and it was the welcome. You know, on a rainy day, where would you want to be? In a library. And especially if you had a really nice librarian like I did, like Connie is, that people welcome you in. You know what I mean? And now, this was during the age of segregation, which these youngsters don't know, but most of you do. You knew that you couldn't, and actually you didn't care to go to the library uptown. You wanted to go to the library in your community with your librarian who would say, and what did you think about? What did you think about the little insects you were learning about? And they talked to you like you had sense. And a lot of people didn't. A lot of your teachers didn't talk to you like you had sense. But your librarians always did. They always thought you were smart and that you were kind, and they were always proud of you and like, and what are you going to read this week? And it always made you feel so wonderful. And now you librarians, God bless you all, you have computers and you have music, which is one of the reasons I asked Giovanni to come down. You have music. You have so many nice things to help us go into the future. And you may or may not, I don't know if I've mentioned it, if I may, Dr. Robertson, who works with NASA, his dream was to put, as you know, a library on Mars.
Tracy?
And they put a library on what they call the south of Mars, but they don't know, NASA doesn't know the north or south of Mars, like we don't really know the north or south of us. And so they put one on what they call the south side. And then he thought, well, we need to put one on the north for whatever the north means in terms of Mars. And so they put the library, it's on a disc, but it's in English. And so he realized, oh, maybe the life form in space does not speak English. So we have translated, one of the libraries so far has been translated into Navajo.
Wow.
Which is the longest language. Now, to share something that's totally unrelated to me reading the book.
Librarians are going to be on this. The
There
first
is
librarian on Mars.
Well,
We'll
see,
sign up.
there is a asteroid that we are afraid is going to hit the Earth. You're probably all aware of that. Everybody's really like, ooh, they're going to hit the Earth. Well, the Earth deserves it, so, but
Well, let's wait till we go.
But they called me. This is what they called, and I don't know why they called me. And they said, Nikki, we're going to have to send something up to push it off. They know we can't destroy it because it's too big and too strong. But we want to push it off course so that it won't hit us. And I said, I'm on the asteroid side, tell you the truth, but what can I do? How can I help? They said, well, we thought you'd write a poem for the people, you know, and keep them cheered while they're doing it. And it took me a minute, but I said, I'll think about it. And then what I thought about, Carla, was that we don't know life forms. If there's one thing that human beings don't know, it's life forms. We don't get along with each other. We don't let skin color, we don't know anything about it. So I wrote a poem called Mating Season. And I'm suggesting that the asteroid is a life form. And looking at Earth, which is pretty, and Earth is pretty, it's blue, it's lovely, has come to mate with us. It's not here to hurt us, it's come to mate. So what we have to do is to tell the asteroid that we're spoken for.
Oh, good. Because, you know, I was getting a little worried.
We are spoken for, so you can't come mate with us right now because we're spoken for, but, you know, as the old blues song says, come back tomorrow night and try it again.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know what NASA's going to do with my poem. They asked for it and they got it. But
Is that the first page?
So they're
they're going to show that on the
Mhm.
screen, aren't they?
So you just have to read and we're going to
After breakfast on Monday, grandmother washes the sheets and pillowcases. I wash the dishes. I help her hang the sheets outside and watch the wind gently blow them. Grandmother takes her sit down and asks me, aren't you going to return those books? I hurry up Mulvaney Street all the way to Vine Avenue to the Carnegie Library. A library is a place to be free, to be in space. I'm always in space. To be a cook, to be a crook, to be in love, to be unhappy, to be quick and smart. And you've got to, you put a quiet please because you didn't know Mrs. Long, or you would have done that. To be contained and cautious. To surf the rainbow. To sail the dreams. To be blue. To be jazz. To be wonderful. To be you. A place to be, yeah, to be. I go home and help fold the sheets and peel the carrots and potatoes and onions and go sit on the back porch, covering my toes with a quilt and read. To be another me.
And as a former children's librarian, but children's librarian at heart still, being able to put this on a shelf face out and see a little girl with pigtails say, that looks like me, and when I hug this book and take it, that's a gift. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I promise the young people here, and remember, you're going to think of a question or two. Does anybody have a question? Because this is a big deal. Okay. Why? Why did you make this book? Why did you make this book?
I made this book because I love my grandmother, and I wanted to write about some of the things that we have done together. I've written also the Knoxville, Tennessee, where grandmother and I would go on picnics. And this was just one of the things that I talk about. My grandmother just meant everything. But I want to say something to Erin that I didn't have an opportunity to say. I know why the grandmother looked like she looks in the book, because she looks like your mom. She does? Yeah, when you look at it, you'll see it. You can see that, yeah, she does. And I said, oh, that's why. You always wonder who, but she looks like your mom. Oh, yeah, and I said, oh, no wonder, yeah, she looks like your mom. It's wonderful. And that's what's fun. It's fun to enjoy what you do and to remember the people that you love. It's that easy.
And the little ankle socks.
And the little ankle socks. Remember ankle socks?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes, the ankle socks. Yeah. And I must say, I think Miss Long, the librarian, looks pretty cool. That. Another question.
What challenges did you face?
Say it again, honey.
What challenges did you face?
Challenges. What challenges do you face? Both of you, because what challenges do you face?
You mean in creating the work?
No, just
In
Just
general.
in life?
Yeah.
I mean, just getting up in the morning sometimes. Huh?
makes sense. It's hard.
I know, right?
It's hard for you to, doesn't get any easier.
What was your favorite? Wait, what was your favorite book you made?
Right now, this one. It's always the latest one. But let me respond for 2 seconds. The only situation you face, and you kids face it too, is there are no challenges. You just go ahead and do what you want to do because you're not challenged. You know what I hate? I hate people that say, what are you going to be when you grow up? Because one, with any luck, you just grow up. And the idea that you have to decide, you are now. We all live now. So I don't have any challenges. I just get up and do what I do. I'm going to write a book, by the way, about the pantry. Because we lived on Mulvaney Street, and there were mice that were in the pantry. And grandmother had not had much luck in getting rid of the mice. I think that she just needed to say, please, we don't need any mice today. But she never thought about it that way. She put little traps, you know. And I said, Grandmother, what are you doing with the traps? Well, I have to get rid of the mice, because in those days you kept your flour in a bag, in a can. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I didn't say that to Grandmother, and I don't want her to sit up in heaven and think I mean it, but that was like a dumb way to do it. And I thought, what we'll do is we will take everything out, which I did, and I waxed the pantry down, all the way from top to bottom. And I wiped everything around. Everything was waxed, so it smelled like wax. All the mice left.
Did they slide out?
No, I think they realized that this was not a good place to be.
Right.
And so rather than threaten them,
lots of fun.
Yeah, I just found a way to say, please go away now, because.
And I'll help you on out.
Yeah.
This young lady.
Why was it about the library?
Because libraries are precious to me. It's why we're glad to have you here. Libraries are to me, they're wonderful. It's just a wonderful place to be.
And we actually have people in the audience that might want to ask too. You all okay with that? Anybody want to?
That's my sister.
So I'm going to cheat a bit because Erin is my sister.
Yay.
And we are super proud. I know how she does this, but I'd like for her to share with you all how she creates these images. Is she using markers? Is she using a crayon, pencils? How does she create these images? Because I've seen her with her tongue on the side of her mouth in deep thought as she creates the pictures here. So I'd like for her to share with you all a little bit about how she does that.
For the past number of years, I've been drawing digitally, and which is not something that I started off doing. I'm old school and been painting and collaging and markers, the whole thing tangible. But my dad he came to me one day, he's like, I'm going to draw on your iPad, which I was like, oh. I was like, I need papers. But I decided to try it, and he got me a stylus, and it became like a journal, a diary, and so I can just draw whenever I feel like it. So the iPad has become like Edward Scissorhands, like an extension of my right hand now. But it helps me, I can do multiple projects, and this is why I can go off and be in different places in the world and still work. And I think the hardest thing about drawing digitally is the edit process, because it affords you to just come up with like a gazillion different ideas. So I have to show you all the doodles and stuff one day, like how the final picture was created, because my agent's like, she's like, please don't send them 50 images of like one thing, because I'm like, but I don't know, the purple and the blue, and there are all these different, the edit process becomes a little laborious for me, and I'm so fixated on it. But yeah, so right now I'm digitally, and but looking forward to getting back into actually painting and drawing with tangible things.
The archivist in me wants to know, you are saving versions of the digital doodles.
Oh my gosh, there's like an archive of, there's so much stuff.
We're doing digital collecting now.
So much going on.
Yeah. Great, because it's the process too, and to see that in generations
You should see the little
from
black
now.
and white drawings to the beginning of this book here.
We'll talk about your papers later. But it's the process, and I'm thank you for asking that. You know, how do you make these beautiful things, and how long, and all of that?
The length of time depends, because there's some times when I'm just like in it and it's like boom, and then there are times when it might And so people have writer's block. I have
That's what I
the artistic where I'm like, oh my God, get off the couch. You gotta finish this. And it's just
Well, what
like,
gets
it's
you
not.
going again? What gets you going when you have a block? And Nikki too. What?
Sometimes it's just a walk, being outside in nature, travel. It's just a reset, a good night's sleep. Sometimes I just need to reset. And, but yeah, sometimes there is this other little something inside of me going, I don't think so today, Erin. You're just gonna have to fight through this. And then then it comes back. And then when it comes back, I lose all track of time and I get absorbed in it and want to keep going. I love it. I mean, as a little girl, you could throw me in a room with a box of pencil or Crayolas or papers, and I would love it. Like my friends today, they're like, oh my God, you used to make us come to your house and color all the time. I'm just like, yeah.
Well, it turned out okay.
Just to be in my head. I'm in my head a lot. I'm a
But it
daydreamer.
turned out okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikki,
The Gemini in me.
I know there's one more. There was somebody that had.
Yeah.
We got Batman in the
come.
house.
Batman was good at the wiggles, though.
Oh.
Just let you know. Anybody else? Because we want to make sure you have time to interact and look and actually look and get copies of the book. I think you're going to be signing.
Absolutely, and Giovanni, I think, has a few of the CDs that we have here that I sound a lot better on. But like most writers, I think I'm the only writer in the world that has not complained about COVID, simply because I'm not friendly and I'm not lonely. So, so the combination allowed me to just be.
You were fine.
I live in my, yeah, I did, I was. And as I said, I'm a country cook, so the combination of whatever's in the pantry is in my head, and I'm alone, I'm fine. And I actually sing to myself because I don't laugh at myself when I don't mess up the words. But one of the, I think the most important thing for any writer is to do with what you love. And I love a lot of things, but mostly I love grandmother. And I don't know why grandmother's been on my mind lately. I know you're not dead until you're forgotten, so I know she's not dead. And I know that somewhere she's saying, you gotta, this has to be done, do this. And so I'm just trying to make sure that Mulvaney Street is also not dead. That's meaningful to me, that part of Knoxville, Tennessee is remembered, that the people who lived on that street are remembered. Because all I have are words. Carla, you're in the same, Dr. Hayden, you're in the same position I am, that all I have are words. And so I just want my words to keep alive. There's a thing here, A Good Cry, which is about this and Make Me Rain. I've been writing about the water lately. And I have no idea what that means, but I know that it's important that my words water this life. And somehow it stays together. There's so many wonderful stories, and we can't lose them. Everybody's, oh, that's not important, how I make a cake. But if you think about making a cake with your grandmother, for example, then all of a sudden you remember, oh, I have to go into the yard and get the eggs, because the chicken has laid. I mean, it changes. It wasn't just that I went to Kroger's or something. It was that this process, and it has to be remembered, and I think it should be shared.
Well, this book, I can predict and guarantee that there will be little girls who think about their grandmothers, and they'll want to know about your grandmother, because it's about you, and they'll think about how this came to be. They'll want to pick up a crayon, or they'll probably be digital too, and they'll want to create beautiful, beautiful pictures and do that.
Beautiful pictures, yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it, and you can't leave here without books that we want to give you. So one for you, Erin. Drawn to Purpose, American Women Illustrators and Cartoonists. It's a Library of Congress book, and the next edition, I'm pretty sure you're going to be in it.
Yeah, oh, it's great. Thank you. Thank you.
And the very first book I got to participate in at the Library of Congress was about the card catalog. Because the back illustration
Oh, in the
that
back.
you have has the little girl going through that card catalog. So your own copy of the card catalog, and I tabbed the parts. Here is the card handwritten for the Souls of Black Folks by W.E.B. Du Bois with his photo and everything. And so we went through, and then this one I had to say, Native Son, the original cover, and the card.
Oh, my.
So card catalog for you too.
Oh, my.
So thank all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk about a book launch. We had the premiere of Nikki Giovanni as a songstress. We had a solo. We had young people who really thank you for being here, especially tonight. We know it's a school night, so thank you all. And all of your friends and your mom. Happy birthday, Mom. We're not going to sing, but we might. Oh, in fact, can you all sing happy birthday?
Yeah.
Do it. Let's do it. What's your mom's name?
Diane.
Oh, that's my middle name. Okay. You ready? Erin's mom. And many more.
Love you, Mama.
Thank all of you.